We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. The longtime Panther Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The first carry now. This is Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot. They're getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line, he provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Now Prescott. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing, Prescott. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give him 5 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. In motion, the tight end. Jameis to throw it. As this complete to Daniel Bellinger. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They'll run here with a rookie. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes, when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Winston now from the 50. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
This is caught inside the 15. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, 56 yards. And the Giants are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, they said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Thomas on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Chauncey Golston. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush, because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. Now Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kayvon Thibodeau. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Here's Winston. The short throw pulled in by Bellinger. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And he's got some space here. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Throwing, Winston. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
To throw is Winston. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Looking to throw, Prescott. Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Here's Prescott. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Javonte Williams, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And New York set to take the field. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this 3rd drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of the tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Over the middle, caught by Bellinger. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Now here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Possession of the football going back to the Cowboys. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. It's caught. Tolbert. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Prescott from the gun. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Prescott now. He's got it complete to Tolbert. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Here's Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And Lamb going to have a Cowboys first down as he's inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. Prescott yet again. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Prescott to throw it. Going right back to Ferguson. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 21, here's second down and 3. On play action, Prescott. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half, now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Here's 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw again. Finding Tolbert here over the middle. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 16. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. They'll throw again. Prescott. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And the Cowboys are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now Prescott. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Throwing, Prescott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys are able to extend their lead.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And possession switching back to the New York Giants. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
I wonder if they're wandering back to the huddle thinking to themselves, can we just hit rewind and go back a play? Definitely not the down they wanted to begin this drive by giving up a sack. But for the defense, that's exactly how they drew it up.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. That's complete. It's Neighbors. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Tracy going to get it on 1st down. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
This is 2nd and 8. Here's Winston. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other, a gain of 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
3rd down, here's Tracy. Oh, nice move. And he will have a Giants 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
Well, he picked up the 1st down, but he violated running back 101 in short yardage situations, didn't he?
I mean with the fancy footwork?
Yes. You're supposed to just make that one cut and go. But I think that move that he made, that did allow him to pick up the 1st down. Without it, I don't think he gets it.
Out route pass complete to Bellinger. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 33, here's 2nd and 2. Tracy trying the right side. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Winston now. And that will be incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The offense back onto the field. Now Prescott. Outright, he finds Tolbert. Across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Second and 7. Here's Prescott. He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 32-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. To throw is Prescott. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 16. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. And the Giants with one final possession here in this first half, and they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half here, Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Winston. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll hand it to Tracy. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Right back to Tracy. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Winston. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 41 yards. And the Giants have got it back to within a score. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
A jet sweep. Here's Tolbert. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10, right at the 40. A give to Williams, running right. And he stopped immediately there. Brian Burns, the one to bring him down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Prescott now. That's into the hands of Tolbert. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So 3 points, a response there to that opening touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also in letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And New York set to take the field. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
And it really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
guy, what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
Catch made by Slayton. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. On the give, it's Tracy. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
They'll go again with Tracy. Loose inside the 30. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. 89 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
Here's Tracy. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now 2nd and 9. Now it's a bootleg with Winston. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, let's give some credit to the defense. They did a nice job there as they flushed him to his right. But he is able to buy some time, extend the play, and turned it into a short gain.
Now 3rd down and 7. Throwing, Winston. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. This just a 24-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and that will bring the deficit back down to 3. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Prescott to throw it. Open man downfield is Lamb. It's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Prescott. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 30. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 27, Prescott. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Williams going to get it again on second down. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
Prescott from the gun on third. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
So a big one coming here for Brandon Aubrey. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick here is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. New York ready to go again offensively. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get...
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too. Completion on defense so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught the catch.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Winston. Left side, he's got Robinson. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 41-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
To throw, Winston. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. And some room to roam now. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
On the option to give to Williams here. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Throwing, Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he got blown up on that play, back at the 20. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. Taking it about the 36. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And the Giants ready to come out now. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they were very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. That's caught left side by Neighbors. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Well, this offense hasn't been at their best here. They've made some mistakes. They've been frustrated. They've been largely shut down. But then you look up and say, wait a second, this is a one-score game. So they're still very much in this, and they're on the move here with a first down.
Winston now from the 50. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. In motion, Slayton. Play action now, Winston. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Following the interception, here's Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's a 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out first downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Williams. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 42 yards rushing for him now to this point. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Ferguson.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Up the middle, it's Williams. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now a 2nd and 6. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and that should be that. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
They'll fake the jet sweep and instead give up the middle to Williams.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
Williams.
Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to... And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments. And anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Winston.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here.
Winston to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
One last shot now for Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.